Within the duration of Yandere Simulator's shitty development cycle, a NetDev fortunately had people plagiarizing his game, seemingly plagiarizing its style and also storytelling. And during the duration of that time of the shitty development cycle, I've also fortunately found two particular games on Steam that are also following this trend, out of the elongated laundry list of games that began this trend. Initially, I planned to merge the discussion of both of these games, but because there's so much shit to talk about, dividing it into two different sections would be more suitable. So I apologize in advance to anybody that had other expectations. Believe me, I wanted to do it too. Yandere Simulator is a video game that I was discussing in my last video, but over the course of Yandere Simulator's development cycle, there's been other games that have been seemingly copying its style. I won't pretend that asset flips don't exist, because believe me, there's many developers that think that they're creating a creative video game, but ultimately being a carbon copy of another game that already exists. And believe me, I've seen some funny fucking Before playing this game, I did my research and discovered that this is one out of an extensive list of games that are seemingly copying Yandere Simulator style. The developers of these games have no fucking shame, and clearly it could be one person because they all play the same. Unfortunately, I don't have a mobile phone emulator to prove how these games are alike, so we'll have to make do with the two that I have. Especially since these two specific lucky fuckers were released on Steam completely enhanced for PC gaming. On January 3rd, 2018, Kuma Games released a video game entitled High School Simulator. I don't know what the fuck happened to the other installments in this franchise, but whatever. And the objective in this video game is to enjoy the high school life in Japan. If this is what high school and Japan in general looks like together in one place, then I feel absolutely fucking deceived by the amount of movies and anime that I've watched. But I could understand why it would seem a bit tasteless for this game to be set in America. I mean, especially since with the amount of fucking weapons that are placed on the ground in this damn game, including that gun over there, but that's another story. So clearly the format of High School Simulator 2018 is very similar to Yandere Simulator. You're playing as a mysterious female student who strangely looks similar to Yandere-chan. But what doesn't make any fucking sense about this character looking this way is the fact that she's completely different on the main advertisement of the game. Who the fuck are these people? And why the fuck do they want me to care? My question was answered immediately upon going to the fucking title screen. Now, I said earlier that there's many games that are seemingly copying Yandere Simulator style. But whoever was developing this game at Kuma Studios clearly didn't give a fuck, because this entire screen is so similar to the character creation screen in Yandere Simulator. Not saying that really fucking matters, but still. Apparently, there's also a zombie mode in this game. But I'm not going to tamper with that mode right now. Instead, I'm going to play the game the way it was intended to be played, and see if it makes a fucking difference. I'm also not playing as the male protagonist because what's the fucking point? If this is a ripoff of Yandere Simulator, then you might as well just stick to the main subject. Not only that, but also because the entire premise of Yandere Simulator would be entirely jeopardized if the roles were switched. I don't want to get into extensive detail about that, but the best way that I could summarize it is that there would be a massive uproar. Again, that's for another time. But just so you know, I have a lot of shit to say about that type of hypocrisy. I'd like to take a moment to talk about this loading screen. I'm thankful at default that it's faster than Yandere Simulator, and not just because it was initially a mobile game brought to PC, but because of the fact that it's so fucking generic. I'm not trying to give Yandere Simulator any credit that it doesn't deserve, but if there's one thing that I can distinguish between Yandere Simulator and High School Simulator, is the fact that in Yandere Simulator there's a little creativity that went into the loading screen. Instead of that shit here, what they instead did is that they took the same goddamn cover that they used for the header on Steam and just fucking slapped it on here as the splash screen. I should also address that this is the only fucking time that you see this. There's no other loading screen in this game. And this is also the only time that you see these characters on this screen. At no point do they interact. So that tells you a lot about this goddamn game already. Welcome everybody to the first and only fucking stage that's in this asset flip game. And I already have another goddamn question.
Why the fuck are the school doors open but nobody is outside except for me? On top of that, somebody decided to leave hordes of lethal weapons on the ground. Why are there weapons on this ground, but there's nobody at the school? There's a debug menu in this game, and it makes the game a bit more interesting. Unfortunately, the game is absolutely fucking empty. And when I say this game is fucking empty, look at how fucking empty this game is. There's nobody in this fucking game. There's nobody except for me. Why in the fuck would they give me all of these weapons and vehicles and locations if there's nothing to fucking do in this game? What the fuck am I supposed to do if there's nothing else to... But after endlessly searching and hoping as if I'm Tom Hanks in Castaway to find anybody inside of this giant fucking empty sandbox simulator, I finally prevailed and found some students. And guess what?
These motherfuckers aren't programmed to do shit!
They've been sitting and standing here all this time, but nobody said anything. This is allegedly a Yandere Simulator ripoff, but you can't even fucking talk to everybody. Except when you desire joining clubs. Which by then doesn't have a purpose because there's nothing to fucking do. But hey, at least we could still kill them.
Die, bitch!
What the fuck?
The hit detection's fucking terrible. Fear the wrath of my axe! Ooh, somebody's wearing panties. If only she wasn't wearing panties. And then when she bends down, we then get to see her. I think you know.
I wonder if there's anybody else. Holy shit! It's Yandere-chan! I'm not saying that I'm happy to see her, but I am curious about why the fuck she's working at this convenience store. Which I must also add is conveniently closer to the school. I also know that she probably doesn't want anybody to fuck with her.
Despite the fact that this boring-ass bitch looks like a gender-switched Ash Ketchum. I mean, fucking seriously, look at this bitch. Look at the way she's fucking dressed. How many of you would want to bet that Nintendo's going to file a fucking lawsuit over this? This must be foreshadowing the future of Yandere Simulator's failure as a video game. I hope Inept Dev has his fucking welfare checks and food stamps prepared.
Just for that, I'm putting this bitch out of everybody's misery. You fucking boring, brooding, basic bitch!
凡人的なゲーマー勝つ完璧な勝利
Alright, enough of this shit. Let's try zombie mode. Now, when I said that I was going to try to play this mode, I was expecting some effort upon selecting this mode. But from what I can fucking see, there is no reason to play zombie mode. When I selected zombie mode, I was expecting hordes of zombies to actually chase this character. But apparently, for some fucking reason, every time when I try to interact with these idiots, they're either walking into fucking walls or cluelessly walking elsewhere. Yes, in case you fucking noticed, her outfit is a goddamn bikini. I only did it for this game to be comically exploited. As I fucking said, it would have been more effective if she were naked because these zombies would have more reasons to chase her.
And then when she bends down, we then get to see her. I think you know.
Now, I'm not saying that this was intended to be a perfect zombie game, but when you add zombie mode into your game, at least if it's an asset flip game, there needs to be some functioning mechanics that makes it tolerable. This bullshit here, however, is channeling Umbrella Corps. And you guys have no fucking clue how much I hate Umbrella Corps. When I finally discuss what I hate about Umbrella Corps in extensive detail, you'll understand and revert back to this video for fucking context.
High School Simulator was a fucking mess. It could have been better, but at least it did something different than Yandere Simulator could ever do on a level that it can never achieve. Although I'm very disappointed that the game didn't utilize all of its features, in addition to being extremely fucking empty. Unfortunately, it's not enough to consider playing this game, unless you legitimately fucking hate Yandere Simulator, and wanted to give you that particular taste that Yandere Simulator is missing from its key ingredients. But with that said, I'm very impressed with the game being optimized, but I'm very disappointed that the game didn't do more. Despite the fact that this game was built using Unity in the same manner that Yandere Simulator was, the most significant difference is that it definitely outperformed Yandere Simulator even by having extensive assets. At this point, inept dev should completely envy anybody that does a better job than him, because they're utilizing the same fucking resources as he is, and yet they're doing a better job. And hopefully the next game in the second part of this discussion reinforces it more. But until that time, this is the Venturous Gamer, and I hope you've enjoyed your Venturous experience. I appreciate being joined in the gaming universe.
Got a worm that mutate.